Imagine living in a home that not only reduces your carbon footprint but also saves you money. Welcome to the world of energy-efficient tiny houses. These small but mighty structures are more than just a trend. They're a lifestyle choice favoring sustainability and simplicity. By minimizing square footage, you maximize energy efficiency. This results in lower costs, less maintenance, and a positive impact on our planet. So, are you ready to think big by going small? Join us as we guide you through the simple steps of building your own energy-efficient tiny house. Building a tiny house starts with a solid plan. And that's not just a catchy phrase. Planning is the cornerstone of any successful project, and building a tiny house is no exception. It's the stage where you lay the foundation for your dream home, and it's also the point where you can prevent potential headaches down the line. Start by choosing the right design. This is where your personal style and creativity get to shine. Are you into minimalistic, modern, rustic charm, or perhaps a unique fusion of both? The beauty of building your own tiny house is that you have the freedom to make it a reflection of you. But remember, form should follow function. Consider the space you have available and how you intend to use it. Will your tiny house be a permanent residence or a mobile retreat? How many occupants will there be? What are your must-have features? By answering these questions, you can narrow down your design options to those that best suit your needs. And let's not forget about energy efficiency. An energy-efficient design is not just good for the environment, it's also good for your wallet. Think about the orientation of your house to take advantage of natural light and heat. Consider insulation to reduce heating and cooling costs, and plan for energy-efficient appliances and systems. And if you're really ambitious, why not incorporate renewable energy sources like solar panels or a wind turbine? Also, remember to keep local building codes and regulations in mind. They may influence aspects of your design, such as the size or height of your tiny house. Planning might seem like a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. There are countless resources available online to help guide you through this process, including design templates, planning checklists, and even community forums where you can connect with other tiny house enthusiasts. So take your time, do your research, and most importantly, have fun with it. After all, this is your dream we're talking about. With a well-thought-out plan in place, you're ready for the next step: sourcing your materials. Building an energy-efficient tiny house requires the right materials. It's like baking a cake, where every ingredient matters. So, let's dive right in. The very first thing we need to consider is insulation. Insulation is the fluffy stuff that goes in the walls, floors, and ceiling of your tiny house. It's crucial for keeping your house warm in winter and cool in summer. When choosing insulation, we want to opt for materials that have a high R value. The R value measures how well a material resists heat flow. Higher R value means better insulation. Some examples are spray foam, mineral wool, and rigid foam boards. All provide excellent insulation and are relatively easy to install. Next, we have to think about our windows. Windows are like the eyes of a house. They let in light, provide a view, but they can also let in cold or heat if not chosen wisely. For an energy-efficient tiny house, double or triple glazed windows are the way to go. These windows have multiple layers of glass, with a gap in between filled with gas. This design helps to minimize heat transfer, keeping your home comfortable all year round. Now let's talk about doors. Just like windows, the doors you choose can significantly impact your tiny home's energy efficiency. When selecting a door, look for one that is well insulated and has a good seal when closed. This will prevent drafts and keep your tiny house cozy and warm. And lastly, don't forget about the small stuff. Things like LED lights, energy-efficient appliances, and water-saving fixtures can make a big difference in the overall energy efficiency of your tiny house. Remember, building an energy-efficient tiny house isn't just about saving money on energy bills. It's also about creating a home that's comfortable, sustainable, and kind to the environment. So, take your time when choosing materials. Do your research, compare options, and make sure you're getting the best quality for your budget. Once you've gathered your materials, it's time to start building. Now the real fun begins: constructing the frame of your tiny house. Imagine you're sculpting your dream from the ground up, literally. The frame is the skeleton of your tiny house, providing the crucial support for everything that follows. So it's vital that we get this part right. Think of it as creating a strong, sturdy foundation for your dreams. Begin by laying out your base plates according to the blueprint of your house. These will guide the placement of your studs, which are essentially the vertical bones of your walls. You'll want to ensure that these are evenly spaced, following the standard 16-inch apart rule. Remember, precision is key here. Every inch counts when you're building a tiny house. Next, you'll be attaching these studs to the base plates, forming the walls of your tiny house. This is where your house starts taking shape, where it starts to feel real. But don't forget, stability is just as important as aesthetics. Make sure each connection is secure and strong. You're not just creating a house, you're creating a safe, cozy haven. Once the walls are up, it's time to focus on the roof. The roof trusses need to be carefully positioned and securely fastened. The roof is your shield against the elements, so make sure it's solid and reliable. Like a sturdy umbrella, it should stand tall against wind, rain, and snow. And just like that, you've built the frame of your tiny house. It may seem like a lot of work, but remember, you're crafting a dream here, a cozy nest crafted with your own hands. Every nail driven, every beam placed, it's all a part of your journey towards achieving your dream of an energy-efficient tiny house. Take a moment to admire your handiwork. You've just taken a significant step towards your dream home. But don't celebrate just yet. We're only getting started. With the frame in place, we're ready to move on to the next stage, insulation. Insulation is the key to an energy-efficient tiny house. With these words, we're diving headfirst into the fifth step of our tiny house construction journey: insulation. Insulation might not be the most glamorous part of building a house, but it's certainly one of the most important. It's like the hidden hero of energy efficiency, working behind the scenes to keep your tiny house cozy in the winter and cool in the summer. But what is insulation exactly? Simply put, it's a material that slows down the transfer of heat. This means that in the colder months, it keeps the warmth generated by your heater from escaping out into the cold. Conversely, during the summer, it blocks the heat from the sun from seeping into your house. Choosing the right insulation for your tiny house is crucial. There are several types to consider, including fiberglass, cellulose, and spray foam. Each has its own pros and cons. Fiberglass, for example, is relatively inexpensive and easy to install, but it's not as effective at preventing air leakage as spray foam. Cellulose is eco-friendly and has a high R value, a measure of thermal resistance, but it can be more difficult to install. Installing insulation is a fairly straightforward process. First, you'll need to measure the space between your studs to determine the width and length of insulation you'll need. Then, you'll cut your insulation to size, ensuring it fits snugly between the studs without being compressed, as this can reduce its effectiveness. Once your insulation is cut, you simply fit it into place and secure it with staples or adhesive. But remember, insulation isn't just for your walls. You'll also need to insulate your roof and floor to ensure maximum energy efficiency. And don't forget about those tiny gaps and cracks. Use caulk or expanding foam to seal these up and prevent drafts. There you have it, the ins and outs of insulating your tiny house. It's a task that requires care and precision, but the rewards are well worth it. Now that you've insulated your tiny house, it's time to install your energy-efficient windows and doors. Windows and doors can make or break your energy efficiency. Think of them as the gatekeepers of your tiny house, regulating the flow of temperature and light, and playing a crucial role in maintaining your home's overall energy efficiency. Let's dive into the process of installing these vital components. When choosing windows for your tiny house, consider double or triple glazed windows. These are designed with 2 or 3 layers of glass with a vacuum or gas-filled space in between. This design reduces the amount of heat that escapes in winter and enters in summer, making your home more energy efficient. Next, we move on to the installation process. Setting up your windows might seem daunting, but with a little patience, it's entirely doable. Start by securing the window frame in the opening, ensuring it's level and plumb. Then, fix it into place using screws or nails through the sides of the frame. Once the frame is secure, you can then insert the window sash and apply caulk around the edges to prevent drafts. Now let's talk doors. An insulated steel or fiberglass door can be a great choice for your energy-efficient tiny house. These doors are filled with high-quality insulation materials that help maintain your interior temperature, saving you on heating and cooling costs. Installing a door is similar to installing a window. First, position your door frame in the opening and ensure it's level. Then, secure it with screws or nails. Once the frame is secure, hang your door, and make sure it opens and closes smoothly. Don't forget to apply weather stripping around the door to keep drafts at bay. Remember, while installing windows and doors requires precision and patience, it's a task well worth the effort. By choosing energy-efficient options and installing them properly, you're not just building a tiny house, you're crafting a cozy, sustainable home. Now that your tiny house is sealed up, let's move on to the final step: Installing energy-efficient appliances. The final step in building your energy-efficient tiny house is installing the right appliances. It's not just about saving space, it's also about saving energy, reducing your carbon footprint, and keeping your utility bills low. When it comes to appliances, the key is to look for those that are Energy Star rated. These appliances are designed to be energy efficient, using less electricity and water than their standard counterparts. They may cost a bit more upfront, but the savings on your utility bills over time will make up for this initial investment. Let's start with your kitchen appliances. Opt for a compact, energy-efficient refrigerator. This not only fits the small space aesthetic but also consumes less energy. Consider an induction cooktop for your cooking needs. They are more efficient than gas or electric stoves, and they also offer precise temperature control. Next up is the bathroom. An energy-efficient water heater is a must. Tankless models are particularly efficient as they heat water only when it's needed, avoiding the energy loss of keeping a full tank of water heated all the time. Also consider a low-flow shower head and a dual-flush toilet to reduce water usage. When it comes to lighting, LED bulbs are the way to go. They use a fraction of the electricity of traditional incandescent bulbs and last up to 25 times longer. For heating and cooling, consider a ductless mini-split system. These are highly energy efficient and allow you to control the temperature in different areas of your tiny house, avoiding the need to heat or cool the entire space when it's not necessary. Installing these appliances is a task that requires some technical knowledge. Be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions thoroughly or consult with a professional if needed. Safety should always come first. Remember, every energy-efficient choice you make contributes to the overall efficiency of your tiny house. The appliances you choose will not only make your tiny house comfortable and functional, but also environmentally friendly and cost-effective. Congratulations, you've just built your own energy-efficient tiny house. Let's recap the journey of building our energy-efficient tiny house. We started with the idea of power in small packages. The notion that a smaller living space could provide not only a cozy home, but also a sustainable one. We embraced this concept and began planning our tiny house, understanding that every square foot was precious and had to be used wisely. When we moved on to sourcing materials, we realized the importance of quality and sustainability. We looked for recycled and repurposed materials, ensuring that our tiny house would not only be energy efficient but also environmentally friendly. We also learned that we could seek out and find materials that were affordable without compromising on the quality we needed for our project. In constructing the frame, we got our hands dirty and felt the satisfaction of seeing our tiny house begin to take shape. We learned that precision and attention to detail would serve us well, and that the process, while challenging at times, was also immensely rewarding. Next, we focused on insulating our tiny house. We discovered the importance of good insulation in maintaining an energy-efficient home. A well-insulated house requires less energy for heating and cooling, which is not only good for the environment, but also for our wallets. The installation of windows and doors was a significant milestone. It was when our tiny house started to feel like a home. We chose energy-efficient windows and doors, understanding that they would play a key role in maintaining the temperature inside our tiny house, thus reducing our energy usage. Finally, we installed energy-efficient appliances. We realized that these appliances, while a bit more expensive up front, would save us money in the long run by reducing our energy consumption. Plus, they offered all the modern conveniences we wanted in our tiny home. In sum, the journey of building an energy-efficient tiny house has been a rewarding one. We've learned so much about the value of planning, the importance of sustainable materials, the satisfaction of creating something with our own hands, and the benefits of energy efficiency. Building an energy-efficient tiny house is not just a project, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring DIY projects.